let me give a very good example. Now, the Child Rights Act in Nigeria, it's sad to say that we have very few states out of 36 states in Nigeria. We have less than 10 states in Nigeria that have actually passed it into the law, the Child Rights Act. So we ask ourselves, out of 36, we're having less than 10 passing the Child Rights Act into law. Then how are we saying we're protecting the future of the country? Now, most of the things that are really fighting child welfare in Nigeria is religion and culture. Now, in northern Nigeria, it's known worldwide that a female should get married as an adult. What do I mean? Most countries using Nigeria, the age for one to be called an adult is 18. Now, in the northern part of Nigeria, where we have the Islamic religion being the order of the day, child bride is something that is very okay with them. We can see a child of 5 years, we can see a child of 7 years being married. We can see a child of 10 years being married in the north. And there is nothing the government can do about it because they don't have laws in place protecting those children. So it's heartbreaking. What is a child of 7 years, 8 years, 10 years doing getting married? So this is where, and we have the issues where it will result in the child having genital issues, fetal issues. It's really crazy. It's heartbreaking. Then in the country as a whole, we're still fighting female genital mutilation all over the country. We have states that it's perfectly nothing, there's no law against it. Then in the states, mostly in the south, that we have laws against it, we still have persons doing it. It's cultural practices. Now that's where the cultural issue comes in. We have some set of persons doing it, some group of people doing it because to them it's their cultural practices. It's okay. Now these are things that individuals, like I said, cannot fight. Organizations, there's a limit to what we can do. We can only create awareness, but it's left for the government to make laws that say, if we catch you doing this to a female child, if we catch you doing this to a boy child, you will be sentenced, because they are the only ones that have the right to pass such laws. So we are hoping and praying that we'll get more persons in the legislative that have the interest of the Nigerian child at heart, that will pass these laws. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And you were also saying that, making reference to what is happening in the north, not talking about the child brides, child marriage, and things like that. Are the people complaining? Do the people realize that something is wrong, or is everybody just comfortable?
That now that's the issue where religion comes into play, and the culture of the people. To them in the north, that's their culture. It's okay. You can't come change it for us. We are okay with that. We're not complaining, because that's what their culture accepts. That's what their religion accepts. So if awareness is not created enough, they won't see anything wrong with it. The only person that gets to know, to say that this is wrong, are those persons that maybe in one way or the other, they have seen the effects, the negative effects this has on the young persons, on the boy child, the girl child, and then those that have traveled out, those that have lived in other places, those that are schooled. We have very intelligent, amazing, wonderful persons from the north, living in the north. So they are the ones that know that these things ought not to be this way. But there is little or nothing they can do, because the population of those against it is so minute compared to those that are okay with it, or those that are indifferent.
Mm-hmm. All right. I was reading an article before I started to talk to you about this interview. I think the article was in humanright.org, if I'm not mistaken, where they were looking particularly into the story of child bride in Nigeria. No, And then, of course, they were also, the article was talking also about the right of the child. So does it mean that in Nigeria, children have no right? So, and according to the culture, these children have no right. So you can basically do whatever you like to them because they don't have any right. So I'm not able to explain that part.
Now, the challenge with that is everybody knows that children have the rights, but in a place where it's not passed into law, when it's not passed into law, it becomes a challenge, because it's only when a law is passed, when something becomes a law, that if anybody does anything outside that, the person is penalized. So if there is no law, then of course you cannot penalize the person. So the Child Rights Act in states in the north has not been passed into law. It has not been passed into law. For many years now, organizations such as My Sweetest Kiddies Empire and tens of organizations in Nigeria have been begging, have been pleading, creating awareness, asking the government to please pass the Child Rights Act into law in northern parts of Nigeria, or make it a law everywhere in Nigeria, the 36 states. But it's not been done. So as long as the rights of the child is not passed into law in Nigeria, there is nothing you can't take a person to court in the north for doing what he or she shouldn't do against the child. For example, female genital mutilation, the girl child marriage. You can't take them to court because there is no law against that in their state. You cannot just take them to court. So these are the challenges we face in Nigeria.
Thank you for that. I will just, okay, I quickly went and researched that article. That is what I was showing you there just now. You know, it's really kind of, it's strange, no? Yeah, it's also sad that that is how we treat our children, and we want them to be the future of the world that we are building. I understand that these things sometimes they are enshrined in the culture of the people.
Yeah.
But what is evil culture? Culture is a way of life for the people. And this way of life sometimes, actually, in most of the cases, it's not written on the stone. It means that it can actually be modified, no?
Another yes.
Yeah, but because we need to respect our ancestors, we need to respect our way of life, we need to respect our culture. That is how we understand who we are. But we need to also understand that that culture was made for us. We were not made for the culture.
So anyone that is not good should be done away with, should be changed. That the thing is now, how do you get people in people practicing this? How do you get them to know that this is wrong? It's wrong. Let's do away with such culture. Just like Mary Slessor, when she came into Nigeria and stayed in southern Nigeria, specifically Cross River State, she came and stopped the killing of twins. Before then, it was seen as being normal. Even when she tried to stop it, there were some persons back then that were fighting her not to, because their culture, their culture believes it's okay. They are perfectly okay with it. So at that point, the government need the kind of awareness that is needed is large scale, that only the government has the finances to make possible. So government need to create awareness, large scale awareness, and let the people know this culture, these practices, it's wrong. We need to change it. It's wrong. We need to do away with it. It's wrong. So that's just, we need the Nigerian government to put an end to the issues of child abuse in Nigeria.
Thank you for that.
Even
by barely using common sense, we should understand that certain things can be modified and changed. It's just like the constitution of a country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah, we still have rigid constitution and flexible constitution. Even the rigid constitution can be changed. It's only that it's a little bit harder to change compared to when it is a little bit flexible.
Yes, you're very correct.
So in that sense, both the constitution, the rule that guides people, the culture, the customs, all of them can be changed. In my lifetime, certain culture have been changed in my place where I'm coming from. So to say that it is the way of life is our culture, yes, it is true. But we must understand that this culture, this law are made so that our life can be better.
Better.
We cannot use it to punish ourselves. Also because you see, where some of these codes were set up that guide the people, it was set up in a time. At that time, that was the level the people
Of your
understood it.
understanding. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we cannot say now that we that have advanced, we must go back and start living in that level. We cannot do that. But also we cannot destroy the culture because the people only acted based on their level of understanding. So what we are supposed to do as human beings is that we should make sure that what we are practicing reflects the time that we are living in today.
Yeah.
Because consciousness have evolved, we will continue to evolve.
Well, yeah.
If you transport what we are doing today, the way we rapport, the way we talk, the way we behave in our society to maybe 1,000 years from now,
It's
people will
quite
be laughing. Okay, maybe for example, you maybe
the difference to be much
yeah,
more advanced than this.
yeah, absolutely. Maybe for example, you enter into a Mercedes Benz, you are happy driving around because that is the best that we can have today. But in 500 years from now, they will laugh at you that you are riding a Mercedes Benz. They say, what is it doing?
Even 500 is even too much. Even 20 years from now, 20 years from now, the brand of Mercedes Benz will be so outdated. Just 20 years from now, it will be outdated. So that's just like you said, things need to change. We need to get better and not backwards. We just need to get better.